What's up, everyone? Dark Ramos here with the Volume Profile Nerd, doing the morning prep / rundown for Friday, May 26th, 2023. And yeah, I'll jump right into it. So the first thing I'm noticing on both ES and NQ after data is that ES is slightly below yesterday's value. We're in yesterday's range, and ES showing a little bit of relative weakness with more space below its value area high from yesterday, which is right here. So this will be a key upside reference for sellers to try and hold, to try and build, to try for overlapping to lower value. If we get below the value area low here. On NQ showing slight relative weakness, testing its value area high from the underside at the moment, right here. But less space under it. So, if NQ gets above the value area high, that could be a good look for buyers if no acceptance back into yesterday's value. So those are the first things I'll be keeping an eye on. So that's what stands out to me first thing, and kind of the ruling reason for this morning is this value area high here at 1498, because buyers are currently finding acceptance above this POC of this 31622 range. So that's going to be kind of the ruling reason for me. If we don't get there, that'll be notable. Or if we just oscillate around this POC, that could be a possibility as well. Or we find acceptance below and then, don't even tag this value area high, which would be notable. Yeah, so it'll be notable if buyers don't get there. So that's what I'll be keeping an eye on today. I'll quickly go over the goal for buyers and sellers. So goal for buyers on ES is to stay above the open and find acceptance back above this value area high. And after that, it's the overnight high. And then we have the regular trading hours high up here. So no change for day plus buyers without getting above the regular trading hours high. And goal for sellers is to stay below the open and not find acceptance above yesterday's value to try for overlapping to lower value. And I should mention that buyers want to get above the value area high to try to continue to build value higher or try for overlapping to higher value. Goal for sellers is to stay below the open, not find acceptance above the value area high from yesterday. Then sellers want to get to this POC and PDC, which are relatively close to each other. So I think sellers wouldn't want to find acceptance below both the POC and PDC for some conviction that we could head to the value area low and / overnight low, since they're relatively close to each other. And if we get acceptance below the value area low and overnight low, eyes on the regular trading hours low. And no change for day plus sellers without getting below the regular trading hours low. So if multiple passes through the open and we stay within yesterday's range, looking at the possibility of maybe balance, given the recent kind of outsized move from the last couple of days and the overnight session from Wednesday, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the market has to digest some of this a little bit. But buyers could still be itching to go higher on NQ. And that's why I'm keeping an eye out on that 1498 level on the daily here from this 316 range up here. So just staying kind of frosty for that, because that is a scenario. If buyers are still feeling kind of froggy and still want to continue to put money into the market. So that's what I got on ES. On NQ, so now we're getting a little bit more acceptance back into yesterday's value. So goal for buyers is to stay above the open, get above the value area high, to then tag the regular trading hours high. And if acceptance above the regular trading hours high, buyers want to tag the overnight high and find acceptance above the overnight high. No change for day plus buyers unless getting over the overnight high, since we made a new high in the overnight session, and cash market buyers want to affirm overnight buyers for conviction and potentially a move higher, or to continue to build value higher and kind of continue to press the issue. Goal for sellers is to stay below this value area high to find acceptance back into yesterday's value to try for overlapping to lower value and prevent buyers from building value higher. Sellers want to kind of hold this value area high, and if acceptance below this value area high, eyes on the POC. And if acceptance below this POC, eyes on the previous day close. If acceptance below this, eyes on the overnight low. And if under the overnight low, if acceptance under the overnight low, eyes on the value area low. And if we get acceptance under the value area low, eyes on the regular trading hours low here. And yeah, any failures at any of these points, like failure at a POC, maybe back to the value area high. Failure at the PDC, maybe back to the POC. Failure at the overnight low, maybe back to previous day close. Failure at the value area low, maybe back to the overnight low. Failure at the regular trading hours low, maybe back to the value area low. And same on ES. You know, any failures here could be back up here, and maybe here, back up here. And if we fail here, maybe back up here to the overnight low. So yeah, just, you know, keeping an eye on that. Yeah, no change on NQ for day plus sellers without getting below the regular trading hours low. So that's what I got. You know, either we get acceptance back into yesterday's value, and in which case, you know, kind of staying frosty for maybe some balance, or buyers find acceptance back above yesterday's value, and we head to that 1498 level. On ES, so I'll quickly go over the dailies on ES because ES has some good daily references as well. We currently held the POC of this recent balance. So again, on ES, I'm on the hourlies because there's a bit more detail here, and we have a few ranges here on the hourly. So right now in pre-market, we held this POC really well of this range, and it was at 415625. I'm thinking buyers should be trying for the value area high of this range here, and if acceptance above that, keeping an eye on the POC of yeah, it's a daily POC. I think I drew this on a daily, so I'd have to go to the daily here. Yeah, if acceptance above that, I'm keeping an eye out on for this daily POC right here. So yeah, just some references here for ES. But yeah, if no acceptance above this value area high of this range here from what's the date? Yeah, April 13th through April 25th, then, you know, I'm looking at maybe potential for balance in between here, but we shall see. Yeah, that's what I got for ES. Let's look at the hourlies for ES. So, you know, we have this 517, 518 range. On ES, we held this value area low here of this this 523, 524 range. You know, potential maybe for some oscillation in between here. But yeah, just going to keep an eye on that. Buyers want convincingly over this, and let me bring out the day time frame references for some clarity. Day time frame references. So yeah, buyers want back into this 428.52 range to convincingly get above the regular trading hours high and maybe try for this POC here at 4185, which on the daily 4185, yeah, would mean we're getting above this 2123, 217 POC here and maybe heading to the value area high here at 4190. Yeah, and yeah, buyers would want to get acceptance above this POC to head to the value area high here, to convincingly get above yesterday's range. Yeah, and sellers, they would need to get below, to get under the regular trading hours low, they would need to get below this 58, 59, 23 POC, quite a ways away, and we do have a few hourly ranges in between, so we'll keep an eye on that. Anything less than getting back into this range or getting below this range or under the POC of this range, then there is potential, I feel, for maybe some balance in between some of these POCs and, you know, hourly ranges and things like that. You know, like definitely a lot of space and a lot of range here for, you know, buyers and sellers to work with. So gonna keep an open mind, but, you know, gonna feel out the open and kind of the conviction at the open. And yeah, just it might be a wait and see type of day to see if buyers can find acceptance above yesterday's value. If not, then patient for ranges, you know, waiting for ranges to develop and maybe playing off ranges. So yeah, just going to keep an open mind for that. Right now, NQ is finding acceptance above its value area high here, or not finding acceptance, but it's slightly above in the overnight in pre-market here. Okay, so yeah, I kind of went over the daily on NQ. We're above this POC. Buyers want to tag this value area high at 498. It'll be notable to me if we don't get there. So yeah, I think I went over the dailies on both. So yeah, let's look at the hourlies for NQ, excuse me. So buyers should be trying for this POC here at 421, of the 421, 422 range at 1473. If above that, then eyes on this value area high at 14, 12, 150. But again, I'm keeping that daily value area high a bit more in mind. So if we maybe see, some acceptance above this POC, but no follow through, that means we could tag that 498 level or 14100 psychological. And maybe if we oscillate around here, that could be telling. And maybe we head back here for some consolidation and then up like this. So just one scenario I'm keeping an eye on. If we don't find acceptance back into this range, I'm keeping my eye out on this POC of 815, 817, 22, and I'll bring out the day time frame references for clarity here. So yeah, buyers want convincingly back into this range to get above the overnight high and regular trading hours high. So essentially, they want to tag this POC to get above yesterday's range. Sellers want to get back into this range to get back into yesterday's value. And if we hold the low of this range, we're holding the overnight low. This is fairly close to the overnight low here. So this 815, 817, if we hold this, then buyers, they're still good. They're still within yesterday's value. So unless they convincingly get below this range, we're not going to get back. We're not going to get below yesterday's value. So if buyers hold this, they could still try for overlapping to higher value. So just keeping an eye on that. This POC matches up with the previous day close. So we'll keep an eye on that. If we hold this POC, maybe do something like this to then tag this POC, maybe like this, head higher, bull break, no follow through. Just a scenario I'm keeping an eye on. Yeah, so that looks good. And no real acceptance under the regular trading hours low, if not getting convincingly back into this range. And I would say even under the POC, or maybe even under this entire range. Because if we hold this range, which is around the regular trading hours low, buyers could still try to hold it and get no follow through below the regular trading hours low to then bounce back up and try for this range above. But yeah, I think sellers would want to get convincingly under this range to try for this gap area and get back more into this candle from Wednesday, May 24th, which was, the big overnight, the big move Wednesday from NVIDIA earnings and tech getting a boost. So yeah, sellers would need to get below this range to convincingly get back into that kind of big candle there. So that kind of provided some good clarity. This range is, I'd say, fairly important because if sellers get through this, this happened in the overnight session, so I don't know, not too much volume here. So I don't know, if we get through this, I don't know how much trouble sellers will have here. So just keeping that in mind. We do have this little range here, but it coincides with the 815, 817, 22 range. So just, I am aware that it's here, but just going to use this value area low for now. But seems like we did hold the value area high of this little range. So might be worth drawing up here. Something like that. And this is, I think, 1 day. Yeah. 5/22/23. Yeah, we held the value area high almost to the T there. Held the POC almost to the tick, and I think buyers should be trying for this POC up here, but we don't have to get there in one fell swoop. We could definitely do something like this, and then boom, so many different scenarios for how we can get to these different targets. So those are the hourlies for NQ. I do have some 1 minute ranges that I'll quickly go over on ES. Those 1 minute ranges are from yesterday. So I drew up this one here and this one here and this lower one here. So let's see. We can already see that, this one here already came into play. Buyers held the POC. and we got a nice move up to the value area high. So yeah, that's pretty good there. We held the value area high of this 1 minute range, and that's looking pretty good. So yeah, going to keep an eye on these ranges. NQ, I have a couple from yesterday. Show, yeah, quite a few on NQ actually. A lot of good ranges from yesterday. So I have this one up here. I have this bigger one here. I just, kind of the POC of this made like the POC of the session. So I thought that was a good one. This little lower one here, which is around the PDC, and then this low one here, you can see we kind of held it here, held the POC here, and then this low here, which we held in the overnight session, the value area low, we held it in the overnight session. Here we couldn't even get to that range below, and that was, in the overnight session. If I'm trading it, like that would be a good kind of scenario, maybe making a play off the POC, and then holding this value area low here, no acceptance below it. We get a good move up from there. But yeah, we're above yesterday's value on NQ, so that's kind of notable, but we shall see. Kind of a big range here, so I wouldn't be surprised maybe with an EQ initially. Yeah, on both ES and NQ. So, if we go to the 15-minute, could potentially be like a 15-minute EQ. So that would be a bit of cause for patience on the morning for sure. All right. Yeah, let's quickly go over sectors and tech just to see where we stand on these different sectors. Let's go into it. That is tech, not sectors. Why am I in? Okay. Let's see. Okay, great. All right. So yeah, ES slightly under its high of yesterday, under this hourly pivot. QQQ testing its high of yesterday at the moment, showing a little bit of relative strength. Yeah, we got this POC here at 34271. XLF a little bit closer to its high of yesterday. IWM kind of in the middle of the road, not gleaning too much from IWM at the moment. I think buyers would want to get over some of these hourly pivots here to convincingly get to this value area high. Otherwise, if we get under this POC, eyes on the value area low here. XLE closer to its high of yesterday. We got this daily value area high up here. Maybe buyers want to tag if we get convincingly above this daily value area high. XBI. Yeah, XBI is a little bit in the middle of the road, slightly, maybe a little bit closer to its low of yesterday, but I'd say, yeah, more in the middle of the road. Yeah, sellers want to get back into this daily range, maybe tag the POC, then the value area low. Buyers want to head up to the value area low of this range at roughly 84.91 and see if we get acceptance above there. If not, we could maybe head back to the value area high here. But currently in pre-market, we're above the value area high, so maybe buyers want to tag this up here. XLV. Yeah, XLV is more in the middle of the road. Yeah, if we get above this daily value area high, buyers should be looking for this daily value area low, I think from a daily range. Yeah, from this daily range. So, XLV could be getting a daily bounce going, so we shall see. If buyers can get, all the way up here, that'll be kind of notable. XLU, a little bit closer to its low of yesterday. We're back in this daily range. Maybe sellers are looking for this POC and then maybe this value area low. If no acceptance back into this range, buyers should be looking to the value area low of this range up here to maybe tag the POC here. All right, yeah, this daily range, but opening closer, a little bit closer to the low of yesterday. SMH, gap up open again. That is notable. Second gap up open in a row. And yeah, goal for buyers is just to stay above the high of yesterday and tag the value area low of this daily range here from, I think it's a pretty decent range actually. Yeah, from all this here. So I think that's the next goal for buyers. SMH looking pretty good. And I have a blue line here. Yeah, I think it's from, the value area high of this range here. So if we don't get acceptance above that, like we just got a little acceptance in pre-market, but if we don't get acceptance above here and get under the previous day close, we could be looking back at this POC from a daily range at 137.25. SMH with plenty of space for like 4-hour higher lows. We got a tiny little hourly higher low, but since Wednesday, it's just been pretty close to just a straight shot up. If no acceptance above this value area high, eyes on the POC. But if acceptance above it, eyes on this value area low from this daily range at roughly 140.59. All right, cool. So yeah, we're right up against it right now in pre-market. Oh no, we're above it in pre-market. All right, so those are the sectors. I'll quickly go through tech. Another long rundown video. So Apple, closer to its high yesterday. We're above a daily POC. Buyers should be looking to tag the value area high here, which is at the high yesterday. It'll be notable if we get above, because the next level would be 177.18 for buyers. If no acceptance above this POC, eyes on the value area low at roughly 172, which is closer to the low of yesterday, 172.05. Amazon, kind of in the middle of the road. But sellers want this POC, buyers want this value area high here at roughly 118.25. POC is at 113.91. Potential for balance on Amazon for sure. But we shall see. Opening up in the middle kind of yesterday's range. Let me go quickly through this. Netflix, kind of in low, closer to the low of yesterday. Sellers want this value area low at roughly 353.72. Buyers want this POC at roughly 36251. Roughly 36251. If acceptance above that, eyes on this value area high at roughly 36621, which is closer to the high of yesterday. And the high of yesterday is the value area low of this daily range. So if above the high of yesterday, buyers should be looking to this POC at 37977. Okay, Google, kind of in the middle of the road, in between these two daily ranges. Buyers want acceptance back into here. Sellers want acceptance back into here. So the high of yesterday and the low of yesterday will be pretty telling for today, and if we get back into this range today. All right, this level's around 125.17. This value area high is around 122.33. All right, but fairly sideways and kind of opening within the middle of yesterday's range. Microsoft slightly closer to its high of yesterday, not by much. We are within this daily range. Buyers do want to hold this value area low to try for the POC here at roughly 335.02. Sellers want to get below this value area low at roughly 322.34 to try for the value area high here at 314.81 roughly. If we get below this, it's not much resistance here, I would say, for sellers to try to get down here. Okay, Meta, opening up closer to the high of yesterday. Wouldn't be surprised if buyers try for this value area low. And if acceptance back into this range, eyes on the POC at roughly 264.15. If no acceptance back into this range, sellers should be looking to the value area high of this range at roughly 241.53. But opening closer to the high of yesterday, showing, Meta showing a bit of relative strength here in pre-market. Tesla, we're pretty much smack dab at the POC of this range. I think buyers and sellers are trying to resolve this POC. And we're closer to the high of yesterday. So that's a little point for buyers, but buyers don't see much follow through if no acceptance above this value area high at roughly 187.40. 40, and sellers don't see much change without acceptance below this value area low at 18229 roughly, which is below this hourly pivot. If below here, eyes on the low of yesterday, and then we have some ranges here that I have drawn up from, yeah, how much time? Okay, yeah, from this little tiny range here. So sellers would want to get below that to convincingly try for the value area high of this range at roughly 17212. But yeah, Tesla fairly sideways, and potential we could just oscillate around this value to see if buyers and sellers can decide on if it's more valuable by heading up to the upper daily range, or less valuable by heading down to maybe some of these ranges below. What's that POC? Let me double check again. The POC, yeah, the POC and the value area low of this range here. Okay, that's Tesla. NVDA sideways here, fairly in the middle of the road. Yeah, Tesla was close, slightly closer to the high of yesterday. Pretty kind of in the middle of yesterday's range. But yeah, slightly closer to the high of yesterday. Okay, just by a bit. But NVDA pretty much smack dab in the middle. Blue sky breakout for NVDA. Yeah, it'll be pretty telling to see how much of this move buyers can hold, or if sellers, jump in and try to press the issue. But given the outsized move, I would not be too surprised with some more balance for the market to digest this, outsized earnings move. So high. Wait, let me see. That's the previous day close. Where's the high of yesterday? Oh, I have it backwards. 1 second. Should be like this. Yeah, so yeah, no change for buyers unless getting over the high of yesterday. No change for sellers without getting under the low of yesterday. So potential for balance for sure. It's a little, got an EQ going, high, low, lower, high. And however this range resolves will be pretty telling. We did get 5-minute oversold yesterday. So maybe the next would be hourly oversold, which I think I saw yesterday, lines up with this POC here. If we get there before another leg up, that'll be pretty telling. So yeah, NVDA I think could be a pretty good clue for tech. But I mean, sellers haven't stepped in convincingly yet. When they do, we'll kind of know. And I think XLF and XLV will be pretty important to see if they can get a daily bounce going, so that NQ can take a little bit of a breather. So if we get a daily bounce on XLF and XLV, it could help NQ. Like if XLV holds this value area high here, right here, and if XLV holds this value area high to head to this range for the daily bounce, to this 130.85 level, and XLF gets back into this daily range and maybe heads towards the POC at 32.34, then NQ could take a little bit of a breather and not maybe push as hard. But right now buyers are still looking okay, and just gonna take it one step at a time. Gonna be pretty patient for the open, and being picky again. I learned a lot in yesterday's session, so gonna carry that in today's session, and starting with the micros first, and then looking for those A plus setups, triple A plus setups, or whatever. Those are really, really good setups. But yeah, that's my morning prep. We'll see. Right now in Q, we're well above yesterday's value, or we're finding acceptance above yesterday's value, and so is ES. So maybe buyers try for another leg up. Who knows? That 14.98 level, I am keeping an eye on that. Kind of my ruling reason for the day, but not going to be too aggressive to start. Going to wait for buyers to prove it. Going to wait to see if sellers are convincingly in the mix first. before attempting, that idea. So it could look like a lot of balance, maybe the first half of the day before trying for that 14.98 level. So just have to keep an open mind and take it one step at a time. If it's if it's a high conviction opening, maybe we try to tag that 14.98 level right away. And if it is a high conviction open, maybe playing off developing value of sideways action, that's a potential play. Other than that, if it's not a high conviction opening, then, waiting for a range to resolve. And if it's just a range day, then looking at the possibility for, playing from range to range, or a rotational or like a balance type day. If we don't find acceptance above the regular trading hours high and overnight high, and if we get back into yesterday's value, that'll be pretty notable. But yeah, we got this nice 1 minute range here on NQ. I'll be keeping an eye on that, as sellers would have to get through this to convincingly get back into yesterday's value. And ES, just keeping an eye on the value area high and some of these ranges below here. All right, and maybe on ES, that's not, this is not bad here. I'm gonna draw this one up here. That's a nice one. I think I like something like that. Yeah. All right, I guess I could include maybe all of this. Yeah, that's not too much difference, but there we go. All right. It's the value area high here. All right, cool. Something like this. All right. So sellers would have to get below this range here for conviction. And honestly, I think I like, I don't know, I like kind of tighter ranges. It's just maybe like a little bit of a maybe preference thing. This is more of like a, doesn't make a big difference. Even if I did something like this. Yeah, the value area low is a bit lower. I'll include all of this, yeah. And the POC would be lower here if I grab that. Okay. Not gonna spend too much more time here. The high, the low. Okay. Yeah, let's just include it all right there. Okay, cool. So we'll have to get, I think sellers would have to get below this POC to maybe try to go on the offensive. Other than that, I'm keeping an eye on some upper ranges here. More so on NQ, just given that tech has gotten a boost recently. But we shall see, one moment at a time. Thanks everyone for watching. The dollar is still pretty good. It's holding this POC here. So we shall see. But the dollar going up in the market, not responding to that is interesting. But yeah, that's all I got for the morning prep. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the trade review a little bit later today. Thank you.